Hi everyone, I'm Richard Todd. I'll be reading for Chapter 2. Inside the Millennium Falcon, Han entered the cockpit. Chewbacca was already seated behind the controls. Han eased into his own seat and said, "The navigator computer is programmed for Farak Station. Let's go." Chewbacca followed the Falcon's jets and guided the ship up through Docking Bay 94's open roof. As the Falcon ascended from Mos Eisley, Han said, "Think we should get more rooms for Jabba." The Wookiee glanced at Han, then responded with a laughing bark. "Woo." Han grinned. "I knew Jabba would go for those crews," he said, with a sly smile. "Let's hope he never finds out where we got them for free. Ooh. Or that they came from a fertilizer hurler." Ooh. Chewbacca tilted back his furry head and roared with glee. The Falcon left Tatooine's atmosphere and entered space. Well, you can't really enter space, but they should say atmosphere. Angling away from the sand planet's twin suns, soon the ship was beyond Tatooine's gravity field. "All right," Han said, "let's start to jump into hyperspace." Do, do, do. Through the cockpit viewpoint, Han and Chewbacca saw a field of distant stars. Han pressed a switch. The Falcon's hyperdrive engine thundered, and then the stars outside the cockpit appeared to streak over and past the ship. "I love traveling faster than the speed of light," Han said. "Next stop, Farak Station." "Don't worry, I'm fine." Chewbacca looked at the database to study the course through hyperspace. He snarled a question. "Yes, we're going the fastest route," Han replied. "We're taking the Corellian run to the Hadrian Way." I should have always said that right. Then we slide into the Barracks run, and then to Chewbacca interrupted with a series of sharp grunts. Ah. "Forget the Namadari corridor," Han answered. "Remember the traffic?" "Yeah, it's kind of busy, like a highway." It's just, damn. Chewbacca shook his head. He pointed at the navigational console and grunted again. Han replied, "Oh, yeah, well, we'll take the Namadi corridor all on the way back to Tatooine. If your way is faster than mine, I'll buy you a bantha rump." I've had a bantha rump. It's not that tasty. Bantha rump was one of Chewbacca's favorite meals. It says, "Oh yeah, it's a meal." It says, "For Wookiees. It's a drink for humans too." He replied with a cheerful growl. Han and Chewbacca were an unusual pair. Han was from Corellia, kind of the give and take. Sorry, I keep doing that. And had once trying to be an Imperial pilot. Chewbacca and Wookiee and was over 2,000 years old. Well, 200, pardon me, and came from the jungle planet of Ka. I can never pronounce these things. This is, I'm gonna try. This is Kashak. They liked working together and hated the Empire in more ways than one. So they would have been friends for many a year. Says the autopilot is working fine, and said, "Come on, pal, let's run a systems check on the engines. After all, we can pass the time with a game of Tijoric." That's a, like, a chess thing. And we all know that Chewbacca likes to, if he loses, Chewbacca liked playing the Hollow Master game. See, he followed Han out of the cockpit and went to the engineering station in the main hold. When they finished checking the engines, they sat down beside their circular game table. Chewbacca barked a question. Sure, Chewie, Han said, "We'll play till I lose, but no cheating." Several hours later, Han and Chewbacca was still hunkered down over the game table when an auto signal tripped the engineering station. "You heard the signal, Chewie," Han said as he jumped out from his seat. "We're about to exit hyperspace." Like, he doesn't have to say it. Says Chewbacca remained at the table and roared in protest. Han replied, "Haven't you won enough games already?" Han roared again. Han. The Wookiee roared again, then spotted the game board so hard he made the hollow studs jump. "Whoa, if you break the table," Han said sternly, "I'm not buying a new one." Chewbacca wouldn't budge. Han thought for a moment and said, "Oh, well, guess you missed the fire rings." Chewbacca murmured curiously, "What?" Says, "You've never seen the 5 fire rings of Fornax?" The Wookiee shook his head. "Well, they're only one of the greatest natural wonders of the galaxy. But, hey, you don't have to take my word for it, pal. If you'd rather sit here and watch hollow monsters clubber each other." Chewbacca jumped up from the game table and brushed past Han, nearly knocking him over. As the Wookiee scrambled toward the cockpit, Han rolled his eyes and muttered, "I hope he's not disappointed." Han arrived beside Chewbacca in the cockpit, but as the Millennium Falcon dropped out of hyperspace, they found themselves looking out upon the planet Fornax and the orbital space station. Fornax was a bright world and appeared to be encircled by 5 rings of fire. Han said, impressed. Chewbacca nodded and murmured his approval. "Good," Han said as he steered the Millennium Falcon Fornax station. "Now let's get Jabba's stuff." And little does he know. But as the Falcon drew closer to Fornax station, the alarm sounded in the cockpit. Han glanced up at the census go. Looks like we have unexpected company. Chewie, our scanner is picking up an Imperial ship signal. Empire, of course. Many ships were visible outside Fornax Station. Chewbacca looked at them and growled menacingly. And no, Henry replied, the signal's coming from somewhere inside the station. A moment later, he added, I hate surprises. This the ending of Chapter 2. Sure hope you enjoyed that, and sorry about my commentary. This is Richard Todd, signing out.